I guess because there aren't any rules or regulations on Mars, not at least what we are aware of. From that perspective, I could claim the rights to own the planet, but this is a moral question as well. So I guess if there is other forms of life on Mars, and I would say no. I wouldn't feel that it's morally right to claim that my company have the rights to claim the planet. That's at least what my intuition is saying. So I would say no.
Yeah, and I think if we go to the idea of how the Earth had their countries claimed, very often it was find first and then fight after. And the question is that what's going to happen when different countries approach on Mars? But anyway, let's move on. Snezzles.
Hello. Well, there's something called the Outer Space Treaty, I think what it was. So like no one can actually own anything. I just searched it up. Apparently 109 countries are bound to this treaty. But if you're the first one on Mars, who's going to stop you doing anything with it?
So you'll go with
So, yeah,
the current law and the current treaties of whether of what you're allowed to do currently. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Sam, feel free to speak or pass.
No, T, I'm not going to pass. I mean, this is going to be a reality very soon. I mean, over the next few years, Elon Musk is going to have, and Richard Branson probably are going to have vehicles landing on Mars. So this is a reality. And I think we've got to ask ourselves a few questions. The first question is that companies have spent enormous resources, financial resources, human resources, in order to get to Mars. So there needs to be some type of reward. Can you imagine if they arrive on Mars and they discover that there is a rare metal more precious than gold that could solve many of this world's problems? That would create a universal war. And of course, can you imagine? I mean, we mustn't assume that we're the only living entities in this universe. There are probably billions and billions of other living entities, and if they suddenly realize that Mars had some highly rare material that they could be using, we could have an intergalactic war. You know, this is science fiction, but it's getting close to reality. My moral aspect would be no, you cannot claim the entire planet. But like has happened over the millennia with people arriving in different countries and claiming their stake. I mean, we saw that in the United States where people claimed their stake for gold. In Africa, they claimed their stake for diamonds. They would be able to claim a certain portion of Mars. I can't give you an amount, but maybe a few square kilometers of Mars for all the effort they've put into it. But no, they wouldn't be entitled to the entire planet.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Ali.
I'm in a little bit of a dilemma, hence the moral dilemma tonight, right? I see it from two aspects. Hold on 1 second. I think something's wrong with my sound. 1 second.
Sounds good from us, Ali.
Is it better now? Yes. Okay. I don't hear myself twice. Right. So, from an ethical and moral point of view, I would say no.
Ali.
Because... Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but I can't see you.
Sorry. Okay, right. From a moral and ethical point of view, I would definitely say no. However, tonight I'm feeling a little bit of a rebel, so to say. So why not? I would definitely claim rights and I could build my own happy place. Well, it's difficult now with the situation on Earth. I mean, we've already destroyed it far enough. I mean, why not claim the rights and do something right for a change and build a nice new happy place on Mars?
So you're saying you would claim
I don't know. Just a
the
thought.
entire planet?
I would. Why not? Invite my friends over. It would be fun. Build paradise right from scratch. Right?
Yeah.
New start.
I mean, if you think about it, it's just a 9-month journey. Once we get it right, it's a 9-month journey. We can be a 9-month party until you get to Mars. You could even
100%.
have a baby by the time you get to Mars. It could be the first Martian.
Literally.
Literally, yes. All right. So, I'll tell you my thoughts.
Also, sorry, new opportunities, new chemicals, right?
Right.
New metals, like Dr. Sam said earlier. Why not? New opportunity, new start.
I don't think that you can claim the entire planet. And that is because there are going to be a lot of countries that are eventually going to terraform to Mars. Terraform is a term that we use when you say you emigrate to another country, another planet, you say the word terraform. So once countries start terraforming to the planets, it's going to be broken up into segments, and humans are going to do as humans have done for millennia, and that is to claim certain parts, and they're going to say that this part of Mars is mine, and then they're going to find the most, how do I say it, where their biodomes meet the requirements with the environment to create soil, to produce plants, in order to create oxygen. Because the idea that they have, and I don't know if it's very vocal, is that they want to go to Mars, and what they want to do is they want to create an ecosystem. And once the ecosystem is created, this will then introduce an entire atmosphere, obviously over time, which will lower the temperatures, which will keep the oxygen within the planet, and eventually we will be able to climatize, and I say that with inverted commas. But I don't think that an individual should ever claim the right to own the planet, especially a planet that we are looking to do better, or hopefully do better as the human race. If we do what we did in millennia, we will go to Mars, we'll claim the rights, and then when China comes and Russia comes and all the other countries, what's going to happen? Fights, monetization, profits. It's just going to repeat the process. So hopefully in 2030, when people do eventually land on Mars, I believe that they're going to land sooner because like I said, the space race is on and the competition is on. But definitely not claim the rights to the planets. Hello to those who have just joined the Moral Dilemma. This is the first dilemma of the evening, and basically you get a chance to speak or pass, and I would love to hear your thoughts. The dilemma is right behind me. The space race between different companies to Mars is on. You land on Mars first. Does your company have the rights to claim the planet or not? Obviously, if you're on the couch, you have the opportunity to speak or pass. And let's go to Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude, what are your thoughts? Feel free to speak or pass, sir. Oh, I think there's something wrong with your sound. Just re-enter and then I'll get straight back to you. Let's go to Vincent. Good to see you again, Vincent.
Hello.
Welcome. Question is behind you.
Will be here shortly.
Sure.
All right. So as Dr. Sam said, the companies need to be able to get profit out of these very expensive ventures. Though, I think for Mars, because it's so close to Earth and will probably need it to be able to allow the human population to continue expanding without completely draining Earth, I think Mars should be under the domain of an international country space entity, and we can leave the asteroids places where we won't need to be sending humans to permanently live, because people have already figured out that asteroids have millions and millions of tons of rare earth metals that we can't get in that kind of amounts except for on an asteroid. So the first company that can mine an asteroid is going to instantly be rich. And Neil deGrasse Tyson said the first $1 trillion company, though he was wrong on this since Apple has gotten to $1 trillion, would be a space company that is mining these rare earth minerals from asteroids. And we don't need to send people to live on asteroids, so we can leave those for if your company gets to an asteroid, that is yours to mine up. But for Mars, I think we need to leave it for people, like for all of humanity to expand to, and so we can split the drain that's currently all on Earth between the two planets.
Awesome. Good information. I think also when we set a time limit of when we will be approaching a certain place, or when you put a time limit on anything, we're actually restricting our own progress, and it doesn't just happen with like, for example, getting to Mars in 2030. Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, it's just the music apparently is interfering with those on that don't have a headset, so we'll just stop that for now. It's okay. And I think that's why I said I believe that they're going to get to Mars before 2030. They have to. I mean, Elon Musk said it's time, which means that other companies can now accelerate the process, right? Table is open, so feel free to raise your hand. You're going to get a participation hand raise right now, and you can let us know. Tell me your thoughts and ideas. Dr. Sam, Vincent said some very interesting things with... Dr. Sam will be with me shortly. Paris, I just saw you now.
Hi there.
Hi there. Welcome, and welcome to the Moral Dilemma. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
So where does it stop? Like, do we just let humanity or whatever becomes of it, like, keep devouring all the whole universe? Like, if you let one planet get devoured, then wouldn't eventually we destroy the universe?
Good point.
I would argue and say that the universe is very big. I mean, we're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of planets and stars. I think it's a little bit of advantageous to go to the planets that have that, we call it a Goldilocks zone, or almost Goldilocks zone, where we can support and sustain life. But other than that, I think there's enough people on Earth for the next 10,000 generations that will be able to own a planet or a star. Obviously, they'll never get there, but why would they be able to own a planet and star that we never get to there rather than Mars? And once again, it's down to discrepancy and the advantages, the pros and cons. Would you like to say anything on that, Paris?
The pros and cons of devouring another planet? I don't know. I mean, that's what we would do. That's the way in nature. I mean, I've just come to the conclusion, and that's what we are.
What would you believe devouring a planet means?
Well, probably building up the CO2 levels to 412, 13 parts per million, like
Right.
we've done here so far.
Right.
And we seem to be incapable of stopping it. And it just seems to be, there is a theory that, of course it stops. Like, if not, the universe would be abundant with spaceships and people living in simulations like we are now. So, which might be the actual place that this all falls to.
Yeah. But you know, in the human centric thing, we would be able to create an atmosphere, create that greenhouse effect. People will be able to colonize Mars, to take it over, to either make it beautify it, because Mars is not that beautiful at the moment, it's just barren. But then eventually it will go into buildings and it will go into smog and pollution, and then the planet will kill us off, as Earth is probably going to do. It's going to kill us off, and then its beauty will be abundant, because at the end of the day we're just parasites to these planets. We have no form of benefits to planets in general. But yes, please feel free to debate about that. Let's go to Dr. Sam.
Timon, just to pick up on the last comment. So, if one takes a planet like Mars, which is barren, as we understand, has no life, and therefore probably has no use to anybody, and you take this useless planet and you create life on it by providing whatever elements one needs for life, be it oxygen, be it carbon, be it water, be it silicon, whatever type of life, then I suppose one is fully entitled to take that planet as a human species, the entire species, to take over that planet, because you are adding value to the planet. But if you inhabit a planet that is in a Goldilocks zone, which already has an inhabitant, no matter how civilized or uncivilized, progressed or unprogressed, and you interfere with that, that would probably be morally wrong.
All right.
Just my thoughts on
Awesome. Thank you. Hello to those who've just joined on Moral Dilemma. FSX, would you like to share any thoughts? No? All right. Welcome, Grant Mann and Josetti and Waldo Emerson. Welcome to the Moral Dilemma. Feel free to, basically the dilemma is behind you, and you may decide to speak or pass and share your thoughts. So, Grant Mann, would you like to share your thoughts? You can unmute yourself. No? Okay. Vincent? No, wait. Waldo Emerson?
I'll pass for this one.
All right. Yeah, we're going on to the second one shortly. And then finally we have Vincent.
So Paris, on your thoughts about we shouldn't go around from planet to planet and just devouring them. I think in a controlled fashion, say devouring planets, let's just take it all the way to like the complete sort of like we can never go back to that planet because it's completely toxified. I think that would be okay, like as long as we're picking the planets purposefully. So like Mars, definitely not, because that's way too close to Earth. We're going to need it. But if it's a planet that's like 2 light years away that we can easily avoid and never go back to again, and we won't need, so it's not a Goldilocks planet, then I see it similar to a landfill where like New York City has millions of people packed into such a small area that in no prior age would that have been possible, because trash and fecal matter would have piled up and made that whole land uninhabitable. But through technology, we can take all that trash and concentrate it into a landfill, and that area that the landfill is on becomes uninhabitable. But because that means that we now have all the better land by the Hudson River that people have been living on for a very long time, then it makes sense that we are taking this parcel bit of land, making that uninhabitable so that the rest of New York doesn't have all that trash sitting on it. So if we take the trash, say like manufacturing, right now we have a lot of problems with companies just dumping the toxic waste from the manufacturing processes into rivers and lakes on Earth. If they can instead somehow take it to some
far off planet that no one will be living on and dump it there, then, even if they make the planet completely uninhabitable for humans, then it's sort of like a landfill at that.
Can I just thank you, Vincent, for that? You actually reminded me of a moral dilemma I wanted to do, and that is, should we dump trash into space? But we'll save it for another day, but I think it's a really brilliant idea. But now we're going to move to the second moral dilemma for today, the spicier one, and I hope you're all ready for this. And also, believe it or not, it's closer to home. So we've gone to Mars, and now we are going back home. And the second dilemma for today is,